Today I'm joined by Tucker Holmes, Aquidneck Island native, in his beautiful home in Middletown, Rhode Island. It's just completed. Congratulations, Tucker. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Tucker is also a local real estate investor, which I've had the pleasure to help him with his several rentals in Newport, Rhode Island. And I wanted to talk to him a little bit about his experience working with me to get great tenants year over year for what, last 4 years, 5 years or so?
Before that, it was way before COVID, so yeah, about that. Yeah, 2019.
2019, yeah, so almost 5 years now. And Tucker, I know you've bought the properties before we started working together, but we've had a great relationship over the past couple of years renting those out. What has your experience been like in terms of getting into the market in Newport? What were kind of excited you about investing in Newport, and what are some concerns you may have had?
So when I started investing in Newport, I was living out in California paying about $2,500 in rent, and I could buy a 3-family for the same amount I was paying in rent that I could pay for my mortgage. So it was a no-brainer to move back home and fixed up that property, bought that off market, and then as the mortgage rates dropped, refinanced that, bought Ann Street, which then brought me and you to work together, where you rented that very quickly and got that within the next 2 months, listed, rented, and creating money for me.
Definitely a great way to initially get into the market as a buyer, something that I think you knew that wasn't going to be a forever home, but it was an opportunity to get into the market, and being a multifamily offset your mortgage payment and everything like that. One of the biggest ways that I suggest homeowners enter the market, if they're open to holding on to it long term, something that they want to do is build their portfolio. A really smart way to get their initial investment. What were your fears initially about either getting them rented or investing in Newport, anything like that?
I never really was too worried about investing in Newport. Newport's got the beautiful rental portfolio of 4 different types of renters, right? You've got your long-term people that want to stay here. You've got your short-term renters of the tourism. You've got Salve, and you got the military. All great renters, all paying top market, close to Boston market rent.
Yep.
So never was worried much about that. You worry about potentially damages and fixing up those damages, but luckily my dad was in construction, so I have some of those skill sets. And my mom and dad both were in the rental markets to begin with, so from a childhood standpoint, it was kind of what I was brought up with. So I never really had too much risk or concerns there. I think the biggest concern that I had was probably getting them listed and getting them rented. And that's where you really helped me out, getting it rented so quickly, and that carried over to, we haven't had a downturn ever in any of our properties that we work together with. So from that standpoint, we've had a great relationship, and we keep on bringing them in, so yeah.
You mentioned the Boston rents, and our last rental that we've done together, the in-law suite, pretty much damn near Boston rents. And it's a lot of times it's people coming from out of town who are, it's actually nearly or just slightly more affordable than what they're used to, but they're seeing the high quality and how you keep your apartments. So that has been a great, like you said, a great opportunity to still be in a really coastal, great environment, but not the same rent as Boston, but it's fairly equivalent. Now, when you decided to pivot, I know you had used other realtors in the past and decided to work with me. What was kind of the criteria you used in selecting me?
You were willing to keep it on the MLS and work with me in order to win my business. You won my business because you got it listed, got it rented quickly, and got a great tenant in there to help me offset my mortgage payments. Shortly after that, you contacted me about all the other ones that we wanted to open up throughout the year because it was a 9-month, 3-month Salve rental to summer rental. Working with me every step of the way, keeping me in the loop, I think that's why you won my business.
I really appreciate that. That is something that I really try and I think separates some agents, is just being transactional, getting a one and done and being out the door, versus really relationship based and making sure that you're there for them year over year. You probably realize every time about 6 months before they're coming due, you're getting a call from me and saying, hey, what are we doing? Are they renewing? This is potential rental increase, all that good stuff, so that we are marketing at the right time to get the right tenants, because Newport is, like you said, it's a very cyclical rental environment with the War College, with the Salve, and you have to kind of list at certain times to match that demand. So that has certainly been something that I have kind of prided myself in, trying to run my business in such a way that you don't have to be calling me to relist that. I'm thinking about you, and I'm ready to help you, and always creating value that way. So I'm glad you appreciate that as well. So far, you've grown your portfolio. You've been a great referral for me, referral partner for me to your mother, to other landlords in the area. When you're having those conversations with other landlords and other people that are interested in real estate, what is that kind of conversation like? What do you say in recommending me to them?
You're transparent, you get it done. We'll work tirelessly to make sure that their needs are taken care of, getting it rented as soon as possible for them, because every single month of delay costs you opportunity cost over the year
Yeah.
a lot more.
Yep.
So even if it wasn't renting it for the full market that you needed to, that maybe another listing agent was trying to get, because it is that one time, you could work in the relationship status to focus on the opportunity cost of, if you rented for say $2,200 versus $2,300, the $2,200 over 12 months period carries itself out,
Right,
versus the $2,300, which would only be another $1,200 over the year that you gain.
Mm-hmm.
So you understand the business model there, and you implement it to perfection.
Excellent. Well, that is certainly something that's why you're in it, right? Is to maximize the investment. I know a couple times with other properties that whether it's a relationship that you've had, you've contacted me and said, Ben, what's market rate on this now? I've had somebody in there for 3-4 years. What are we looking at? And I just want to provide information so that you can make the best possible decision. And the ball's in your court, and I'm here to advise and help in whatever way I can. And lastly, Tucker, when you've worked with other agents in the past, what would you say is different about my approach and the process for you compared to other agents?
The big difference was that the other agents struggled to get it on the market before the time that I needed it to. Versus working with you, you got it on the market when we needed to get it on the market, so that we got a renter right away. Prior to you, it felt like I was in the primary focus of your radar, and I felt every single time we've worked together that I have been. And I've gotten that same feedback from every single person that I've referred you to. So as much as what I've said for referral, they come back to me and say, thank you, he was so great. So yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for your time today.
Yep.
Thank you for the referrals as always, and to more investments and to building that portfolio. Thank you, Tucker.
Thank you.